When the Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup back in 2022, they had Darcy Kuemper between the pipes. Kuemper, a guy who had put together some really excellent seasons with the Arizona Coyotes, including 2 years where he finished top 7 or better in the Vezina Trophy voting. He played very well in the regular season for Colorado, and in the playoffs, although he wasn't as good, and had Pavel Francouz carrying some of the load in net, he was good enough to help the Avs finally get over the hump and win their first Stanley Cup since 2001. After the big victory, Colorado decided to let Kuemper walk in free agency, where he would sign a 5-year, $26.25 million deal with the Washington Capitals. Things didn't work out perfectly for Darcy in Washington, but after getting traded to the Kings, he's been excellent for them this season. Back in the summer of 2022, Colorado decided to trade for goaltender Alexandar Georgiev, the 26-year-old who had been backing up both Henrik Lundqvist and then Igor Shesterkin for the New York Rangers. Georgiev would take on a hefty workload during his time with the Avs, starting 62 games in his first year with the team, and he actually led all NHL goalies in wins with 40 and was really strong, even putting up a .918 save percentage, which was top 10 in the league. When playoff time came around, the division-winning Colorado Avalanche were up against the top wildcard team, the Seattle Kraken. This series was extremely back and forth, but the overachieving Kraken took down the reigning Cup champs in 7 games. Georgiev wasn't bad in this series, but ironically the goaltender that outmatched him was the veteran Philip Grubauer, who played for Colorado for the 3 seasons before their Cup-winning year. The next season, Georgiev again started 62 games and led all goalies in wins with 38, but this time around his numbers were well below league average, and he had a sub-900 save percentage. In the playoffs, the Avs played a division foe, the Winnipeg Jets, and although Georgiev was bad in the first game of the series and they lost 7-6, he and the team rallied to win 4 straight and shell-shocked Connor Hellebuyck and the entire Jets lineup. In round 2, they'd face off against another Central Division squad, the well-rounded Dallas Stars. Although the Avs won the first game of the series, they'd lose the next 3 in a row, and eventually the series in Game 6. Georgiev let up 18 goals in 6 games and had an .895 save percentage versus the Stars. This season, the Avs chose to give Alexandar Georgiev and their goaltending situation another chance to prove maybe last year was a fluke. But if anything, the situation in goal for Colorado got worse, with Georgiev going 8-7 with an .874 save percentage, and their backup Justus Annunen going 6-4 with an .872. This put the Avs behind the 8 ball straight out of the gate this season, and prompted the organization to move both of these goaltenders out and bring in 2 new ones in separate trades. The first move saw Colorado bring in 32-year-old veteran Scott Wedgewood from Nashville, with Annunen going the other way. Wedgewood, a netminder who'd been backing up Jake Oettinger in Dallas the past few seasons. But the big move they made, and one that I think makes them a serious Stanley Cup contender, was sending Alexandar Georgiev to the Sharks and bringing in the 28-year-old Mackenzie Blackwood. Since joining the Avalanche, Blackwood has gone 9-4-1 with a sparkling .928 save percentage and 1.97 goals against average. The second-round pick from the 2015 draft was actually a highly touted goalie prospect from New Jersey when he first came into the league in the 2018-19 season. He had a .917 save percentage in his first 2 years with the Devils, a very strong mark through 70 games with the team. Unfortunately, the team had a few down years after this, and injuries ended up making Blackwood the team's backup when they did make the playoffs again in 2022-23. This is a goaltender that has always had elite potential, and now that he's playing for a team with a group of defensemen that includes Cale Makar, Devon Toews, Josh Manson, and Sam Girard, things could work out very well for both Blackwood and the Avs as a whole. And they also happen to have the leading point getter and one of the most electric players in hockey right now, Nathan MacKinnon, another stud who is top 7 in goals and points in Mikko Rantanen, and other key forwards who are finally getting healthy, including Artturi Lehkonen, Ross Colton, and Jonathan Drouin. They also have Val Nichushkin and Gabe Landeskog on the IR, both elite players who make a huge impact when they are in the lineup, and especially come playoff time. When you take a look at the Western Conference playoff picture, there's certainly some juggernauts like Vegas and Edmonton, the last 2 squads to represent the West in the Stanley Cup Final. But when you look at the Central Division, there are 4 incredibly strong teams as well. The Winnipeg Jets, who are currently leading the division, the Minnesota Wild and Dallas Stars, who are both well-built with solid defense cores and goaltending, and then of course the Colorado Avalanche, one of the highest scoring teams in the league and a team that finally got a goalie tandem that they can rely on. I am not sleeping on the Colorado Avalanche after their 2 big goalie moves, And if they can add another top 6 forward and or another solid defenseman, I think they may find themselves back in the Stanley Cup final this year with a chance to win their second cup in 4 seasons.